Hello and welcome to the second video in our MiG-21 tutorial series. We're picking up pretty close to where we left off. That's Croatia we're leaving behind us. So in this tutorial video we're going to go over some basic flying, how to realign your compass if it gets way out of whack. Let's just make it get way out of whack here. We're going to go over afterburner, second afterburner, and what it's like if you overspeed. Okay, that's about as bad as it's going to get for our compass. Alright, first thing we're going to go over is our autopilot, because everybody loves an autopilot. This is our autopilot control panel. We have a stabilize mode, a limit out mode, a auto leveler, which that is not actually a button. We also have an ILS landing system and an off button. Stabilize is really handy. Hit stabilize, it'll hold your pitch and roll. You command new pitches and rolls simply by turning the joystick, which you can see my control inputs here. It just holds it for you. It's nice. One thing to know about stabilizer is if you are flying level, it does not actually hold your bank angle, it holds your heading. This is important because if you are aligning your compass and suddenly it swings all the way over, you will suddenly be trying to follow a new compass heading and you'll turn violently. But normally 90% of the time, well, 70% of the time if I'm in autopilot, I'm in stabilize. Next mode we need to go over is the auto leveler. Auto leveler is actually a button on the joystick in real life, but for us, we have, Control A. Control A engages the auto leveler. Auto level seeks to get our vertical speed to 0, our bank to 0. If you need to align the compass in flight, use the auto level. To turn it off, you can press that button, or we can press Shift W. Let's go back to stabilize. The limit out switch right here. If we fly too low, that will automatically try to take us up to a safe altitude. It needs to be more aggressive in the code. That's something I need to do. I just hate tuning autopilots, so I haven't done it yet. So let's do an example here. Let's leave it off for now. We'll set our limit out to 300. Let's go ahead and get down. Okay, we're getting pretty close. So we're starting to register on the radar altimeter. As soon as we get below 300, you'll notice the danger out light comes on right here. That means we are below whatever setting we selected down here. Going back up. The radar altimeter antennas in this only correct for 20 degrees of roll, pitch, what have you. So right now, to illustrate this, let's get down low. So we're, about 100 meters over sea level. If I start rolling, you'll notice I'm getting closer, but suddenly that goes way up. Whoa. So that's something to be mindful of when you're looking at the radar altimeter. Now to demonstrate the low altitude switch, let's bring it down to 100, flip that on, and fly a little low. Okay, so that light came on. This started pitching up. I'm not controlling the aircraft right now. You'll notice it starts to pitch up and then it brings it back down. Bank is level. To get out of this, you can either press the off button or just start using your joystick again. And that is that. It does not work very well if you're pitching a lot. So don't trust it as much as you would the safeties in like an F-16. This is more for just in case. That's pretty much the autopilot. We'll go over ILS at a later date and what the command button does versus the control. Next thing we need to talk about is the afterburner. One thing that's really different about the MiG-21 compared to your modern fancy American aircraft is the engine is slow. This is the MiG-21bis, which actually has the fastest engines of the three that were installed in MiG-21s. But if you look, watch right here on our RPM gauge. Jamming the throttle forward. See how slow that was? That is not fast. You have to think about where you're putting your throttle before you put it. One other thing about the afterburner that is different from your fancy American aircraft. Watch what happens. I wish you could see my joystick. You kind of can. So I'm going to jam it all the way forward. I'm going to do this so I don't crash. Jam it all the way forward. See how this jet nozzle open light comes on? What that means is our jet nozzle in the back, which is used for directing the thrust. See, it's open right there too because we're all the way back. That opens up wide because it's expecting the afterburner to come on, but the afterburner hasn't actually lit yet. It takes a little while for the afterburner fuel reserves to fill up or whatever, and for the afterburner to actually ignite. So what you'll see happen is we throttle all the way up because we're panicking, but we actually lose thrust, so we're slowing down a little bit. It's not good. And then finally the afterburner kicks in, you see the first reheat light come on. The one way to avoid this is first, carefully plan out, think ahead where you're putting your throttle. The second thing to do, remember how I talked about the mill detent in the last video, put it to where it's right there as much as you can, hold it there. After about 5-10 seconds or so, you can push forward and actually go into afterburner. The MiG-21 also has a emergency afterburner, which you can turn on right here. In real life, they would only use it for 3 minutes at most. It's for emergencies only. So if you'll notice when we hit our afterburner now, first reheat, second reheat, our speed goes up really, really fast because we're going really, really fast. I hate that shaking and I don't know what's causing it. So, say you're running away, hit your second afterburner, you're going really, really fast, trying to get away from that F-16 with its fancy American electronics. This autopilot's bothering me. Almost to Italy. So, get going really, really fast, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. And oh, suddenly the aircraft starts shaking, our engine goes down, we're losing a lot of speed. Congratulations, you've compressor stalled it. To get out of this, it's actually pretty easy. Just pull back on the throttle. You'll notice the aircraft stops shaking, we can throttle up again. I need to make that a little bit more hard to get out of, but for now, it's okay. Concepts are the same. So that's your flight basics. Those are the big things to be aware of if you're transitioning from a fancy American aircraft. So next video, we'll probably go over some basic navigation stuff, and then we might do some weapons a little later on. So thanks, and see you next time.